y'all, so we are back, and tonight we're gonna dive into some government secrets. All right, so if you're new, you know what to do. I need y'all to help me, man, unplug some more people out of the matrix, and you do that by spamming the like button and putting hashtag unplugged in the comment section. All right, let's get to the video.
Classified CIA document from the 1980s has been uncovered, and it reveals a mind-bending truth. The world around you is an illusion created by your own mind, that there are alternate dimensions waiting for you to access them, and ultimately this information shows you are God. Sound crazy? I've devoted my life to studying consciousness and hidden information, and this is one of the most incredible declassified documents I've ever encountered. The shocking information within reveals a method for accessing other realities and a way to tap into the power of your own consciousness to transcend the limitations of time and space.
Alright, so this here's a video of that creepy woman, Shelly Moa Capito, when she pokes Mitch McConnell in the hand. Watch this here. I'm recording off a big screen TV, so just be patient, but watch. She pokes him in the hand, and look at this guy looking right at her as she does it. And then this dude over here, he watches and he smirks at what she did. And Mitch turns into a turtle. So
guys, we have serious information that I must share.
Okay, share.
It might upend all of our weekend plans, because apparently the CDC has put out new guidelines, tips on sharing and surviving, I should say, a zombie apocalypse.
What?
I'm not making this up. This is starting to trend right now. The CDC.
We did the story like 3 days ago, though.
Okay, well, it's back.
One of the greatest proofs that the Earth is flat. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. We're orbiting in the heliocentric model of the Earth, the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. While doing that, we're chasing the sun at almost 500,000 miles per hour. So we're corkscrewing and spinning through an infinite universe, never to return to where we were before. The Georgia Guidestones had a little hole drilled in the middle stone, and if you look through it, there is the star Polaris, our North Star. How can we be traveling in all these different directions, traveling infinite distances, and that star just always remains in that hole? There's no way it would be in that circle a day, let alone 40 years. But it was there.
somebody blew it up.
They are taking this down like crazy. Watch. Look what they're researching.
Taken down. I'm not allowed to have a camera in here, and I had to put it in a very uncomfortable place to sneak it in here. I'm inside of a top secret government research facility. You can see the grates in the floors. There are grates in the ceilings. What these grates are for, they move air in very quickly, fresh air from
What
the
would they
outside,
need that for?
And they take it up to the roof. They pump it back outside after it's filtered, because without it, the air in here is contaminated very quickly. But if you still think they don't exist, why would they have research?
Yep, exactly.
There was a guy that was talking about how there's a secret government that our government don't even know about. So he was basically saying that this secret...
Now that I believe as well. You know what I mean? Just hearing some of the things about the Pentagon and how a lot of these agencies, they just pretty much a rogue, man. They're just out here freelancing, doing what they want to do. I believe this.
Secret government has its own Navy, has its own Air Force, has its own funding system, and it's like completely secret to the people. They have technology that's like more advanced than our most advanced plane that we have. They learn to take energy out of a small area. It's like some advanced physics, and it's something like if we give it to the people, there'll be free energy all around the world.
Damn, we're definitely on Mars, bro. If we got something like that, you put that in an engine, bro, we're on Mars.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. But
It's like a shadow government.
what is the point of having something that low-key?
For weapons, like, we know there's aliens, so aliens coming to fight us, we need something defense. Also, like, control. Say, brothers start rioting, Russia act up or something, anybody act up, now we have something like a real deterrent. Like, yo, calm down before, like a nuke.
It's low-key, before we dropped the nuke, nobody knew what a nuke was.
Yeah.
Now everybody got nukes. So you gotta drop a nuke? Nah, we already 10 steps ahead of you.
Victor.
Let's try it. Okay, if the cut is on this side, I would wrap it like so. Get that one over here like that. Oh, nice. Bring this guy over like that. And finally, the last one. Hey! Not bad. Yep. Good.
1970s, the government has been replacing birds with bird drones to spy on us. There is a staggering amount of evidence to support this, and by the end of this documentary, you will also be convinced that birds aren't real. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Ever? You probably haven't because they don't exist. But if they...
That is true, bro. I've never seen, and I grew up in New Jersey, you know what I mean? Back and forth between New Jersey and Georgia. And pigeons are all over the place in New Jersey. But I've never seen a baby one. Never. And I'm thinking about it.
They did exist. Surely someone has seen a baby pigeon, right?
Now, do they stay in the nest? That could be a good reason, but if they don't just stay in the nest all the time, then yeah, I've never seen one.
So we decided to go to the streets to find out for ourselves. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
No.
Have any of you seen a baby pigeon ever?
No, I don't think so.
I have not, no.
Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Actually, I haven't. That is kind of sketchy now that I think about it.
It's not actually the North Pole. The North Pole's been sailed every year for 30 years. It's off from the North Pole several hundred miles. This is in a region that's never been sailed before. It's between the magnetic North Pole and the actual North Pole. The waters are reported to be the roughest on the planet, so we're talking 10-story seas. This is not going to be a pleasure cruise by any stretch of the imagination. We'll be breaking ice for 8 days to get there, so it's not an easy place to get to.
Things government doesn't want you to know. Hard one.
And when I finally got to go out the door, that was something different too. And I figured that would never happen without the preparation we had, training the team.
You're telling me the government is saying mermaids don't exist?
There was a video about a guy who created a car to run on water. And then this car that ran on water, he apparently had a viable engine and it was really working. And then he had a heart attack. And as he was dying, he was saying, "They killed me. They killed me." And then he died. Nobody heard from the water engine again. Meyer said that his invention could do what physicists say is impossible: turn water into hydrogen fuel efficiently enough to drive his dune buggy cross country on 20 gallons straight from the tap. Wow. He took a sip of cranberry juice, then he grabbed his neck, bolted out the door, dropped to his knees, and vomited violently. I ran outside and asked him what's wrong. His brother Stephen Meyer recalled. He said, "They poisoned me." That was his dying declaration.
Most of y'all know how I feel about my neighborhood, right? And how it's a f***ing simulation. Like, literally all the houses are the same, right?
Houses like neighborhoods and houses like that make me nervous. I know exactly where she's coming from, bro. When you look at that, just feels like something's not right, maybe an experiment or something like that, or maybe, I don't know. But yeah, yeah, weird.
Why the are all these white cars like dead?
Three places that governments hide from you. Number 3, Area 6. Located in Nevada, close to Area 51. This place
never even heard of Area 6.
Does not have an official name. There is a runway and airplane hangars by the side. It is said that US develops unmanned drones in the facility. However, don't go peeking, because you will end up in jail. Number 2, North Sentinel Island. This island comes under the administration of India. However,
they're not hiding that. We're aware of the Sentinelese and the Sentinel Island.
It is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. The tribe that live there have lived in isolation for nearly 60,000 years, and they are extremely hostile and violent. The government has declared the island an exclusion zone. Number 1, Dulce Underground Base. An underground military and research base is thought to be in place in the town of Dulce. There is no official confirmation of a facility by the government. An alleged former worker has said that there are 7 levels and that alien research takes place there.
This is going to get dark. In the beginning of 2020, a documentary came out exposing all of the secrets the government had hid from us. This documentary is called Out of the Shadows. The only way to see it is to go to outofshadows.org and then click to YouTube to watch the full documentary. It is blocked everywhere else. Even with...
I was about to say, I wouldn't do it. Figure out another way to try to see what it's about, man. Don't do it from your computer, man. You know what I'm saying? I always try to give people that disclaimer, man. Don't know. You don't know what type of database you may be thrown into. Nothing. Nah. May do something, somebody hack your joint. No.
16 million views. If you search for it on YouTube, it will not come up. The documentary reveals all the secrets behind Hollywood, Jeffrey Epstein, Clinton's emails, and lastly, the conspiracy theory behind the coronavirus. Would you watch it?
Asking a former CIA operative the questions we really want to know, part 1. Do you think there are aliens?
I do.
How long did you work for the CIA?
15 years.
For future intelligence agents, what is the most important language to know?
The most important language to know would be Mandarin.
How long do you think America's democracy will last?
Another 50 generations.
Who is the most high-profile person you've ever met?
I once met Yasser Arafat.
Is she blinking an awful lot to y'all? Don't that seem a little bit strange? Just the blinking is throwing me off.
If the public knew what you knew, would they be more or less afraid?
They would be more afraid and more angry.
The U.S. government confirmed the existence of aliens and no one cares. Think about this. We've seen so much crazy in the past 2 years that no one blinks an eye when the government soft launches extraterrestrial life. Are they hot? We can't share that information.
Watch this closely. Did you see it? Watch again. Pay close attention. Watch this closely. Did you see it?
No.
Watch again.
The government has some explaining to do.
Military secrets the government doesn't want you to know about.
Military secret out there. Everybody thinks the Air Force is just planes and doing things from the sky. It's not. It's not. Listen to me. I'm about to tell you something very important. In basic, they give us these vaccines, right? It's not a vaccine. It's the super soldier serum. So we can actually change the weather. Watch. It's about 100 degrees here in Florida. Well, I'm still learning, but there you go. Don't tell nobody.
Most of you probably don't know this. This little shark fin on the top of your car is actually the cover. It's a government tracking device.
All right, man, y'all gotta stop playing with me like that. I'll go out there and remove all of them off my vehicles, man. Are you kidding me? Listen, man, I know that's just kind of like a little antenna, but that's gonna be in the back of my mind now.
I asked an artificial intelligence what the government is hiding.
Look what Russia just discovered in Antarctica is terrifying. Scientists have found terrifying objects under the ice of Antarctica. However, the government doesn't want you to know about those secret discoveries. The world had no idea that the least populated...
What is the government hiding from us?
See, now those are the ones I'd be skeptical about. The ones where it's out in the open and it looks like a spaceship or whatever and it's just shown out in the open, those I'm not too worried about. But stuff that's covered up like that, concealed, those are the ones I'm worried about.
Government doesn't want you to know this secret Antarctic discovery. The world had no idea that the least populated continent of the Earth, Antarctica, would have the most mysterious things buried. Scientists have found terrifying objects under the ice of Antarctica.
When you realize the Pentagon is unable to trace $2.1 trillion in taxpayer money, but then they're getting approved for another $800 billion next year, and yet the people can't get universal health care, college tuition relief, or infrastructure repairs.
How much does the government make? 111,000 per second, 6.7 million per minute, 401 million per hour, 9.6 billion per day, 67.3 billion per week, 292 billion per month, and 3.5 trillion per year.
This is the reason why the genius scientist Nikola Tesla was so obsessed with the number 369. He once said, "If you understand the wonder of the number 369, you will decipher the universe." To comprehend this, we need to acknowledge that humans did not invent mathematics. Rather, we discovered—
All I can hear is 369. One more time, get low. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
it as the governing law of the cosmos. It is the language of the universe. Below are the discoveries Tesla made. If you take 1 and double it, it becomes 2. 2 doubled is 4. 4 doubled is 8. 8 doubled is 16. The sum of 16 is 7. Double 7 is 14. The sum of 14 is 5. Double 5 is 10, and the sum of 10 is 1. And this pattern repeats infinitely without the occurrence of the number 369. Interestingly, when you double 3, it becomes 6, and when you double 6, it becomes 12. The sum of 12 is 3. These two numbers complement each other, with the number 9 being the highest independent entity. If 3 and 6 are considered negative and positive, then 9 is the superior entity governing the entire universe. Tesla stated that these three numbers exist in a higher dimensional space, dominating the three-dimensional world we inhabit.
Illegal videos you're not allowed to see. A German tourist illegally scaled Egypt's Great Pyramid of Giza, and this was done in broad daylight. Armed with a GoPro, 18-year-old Andrej climbed nearly 500 feet to the top. However, attempting to climb the pyramid can come with a jail sentence of up to 3 years. He was caught, and authorities made him delete the footage, but they were unaware he could recover the files.
Underwater, is that true?
Yeah, it is. We were driving in the car. She was in the back seat, in her car seat.
How old is she now?
She's 5. She'll be 6 Friday.
Okay.
So we're driving in the car, and she says, "Mommy, this is just like where I died." Like, real excited, not upset or anything, just kind of very matter of fact.
At 2 years old?
Yeah, she was about 2 3/4.
So then you say, "Honey, you didn't die."
I said, "Well, Leah, what are you talking about?" She goes, she says, "I was in my car, and it fell off the bridge in the water, and I died." And so I pulled off the road because I was a little stressed. And she said,
Look it up. All you need to do is look it up. Don't let it stop there of them telling you. Look this stuff up, man.
And I said, well, where was Mama? And she said, "You weren't with me that time."
This is what your 2-year-old said?
Yeah, she did. That got the exclamation points going. And I said, "Well, who was driving the car then?" And she said, "I was big. I could reach the pedals." And she has no clue that you need pedals to drive a car. She's 2. She's in the car seat. You know, there's like no way she could know that. And I said, well, what happened? And she described, she said, "Well, I wasn't wearing a seatbelt." And she is absolutely a fanatic about seatbelts. Everyone in our presence that knows us, she is going to make sure they have a seatbelt on. She will not get in the car without one, and neither will anyone else. And she said, "Well, I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I fell out of the car." And she said, and she put her hand up on her, and she said, "Mommy, I was laying on the rocks. I could feel the rocks on my head." And she said, "And see the shiny bridge," and she points up, she's looking up, and she says, "And see the shiny bridge and the bubbles going up." She could see the bubbles, and she has she has never seen television at that point in her life at all. And how would she have any knowledge of bubbles rising? You know, she doesn't swim, she doesn't put her face in the water. And she said, "I could see the bubbles going up and see the sun on the bridge through the water."
This is what your 2-year-old.
Controversial facts that the government doesn't want you to know. The last one is a crime. The U.S. healthcare system is the most expensive in the world, but it does not deliver the best outcomes compared to other developed countries. The wealth gap in the U.S. is growing, with the richest 1% of the population owning more wealth than the bottom 90%. Only 1% of people really care about the truth. If you are one of them, comment truth. The war on terror has often resulted in the violation of privacy. The U.S. tax system is regressive, with the wealthy often paying a lower effective tax rate than the middle class due to various loopholes and deductions. The concept of democracy is often used to justify oppression. Sharing this TikTok gives it a 5% chance of being seen even with a shadow ban. The U.S. government has a history of surveillance on its own citizens, often without their knowledge or consent. The concept of freedom is often used to justify inequality. Final fact: Operation Gladio, a covert NATO project that involved preparing for and carrying out acts of terrorism against friendly populations to manipulate public opinion. If I ever stop posting, you know who did it. Follow for the truth.
Well, the government got smart. They stopped doing all the inventions and all the technology themselves, because once they developed the technology themselves, they had to give you the FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, where you can pull down the records and see exactly what they're doing. So now they subcontract out all the work to Lockheed Martin, Skunk Works, and all these places, right? Northrop Grumman. So you can't see what the hell's going on. You have no clue what's out there.
That's a problem. That is a problem.
Here to tell you the technology is 300 years ahead of whatever you could dream of. 300. Not 40, not 50, not 100, 300. Whatever you can think, whatever you can imagine in your mind, whatever you can conjure up and think based on whatever sci-fi movie you saw before, I'm here to tell you it already exists. It already exists. Well,
I believe that.
Here's one thing the government definitely doesn't want you to know.
Joe Biden is hiding from you that dinosaurs still exist. Yes, you heard that right. In Peru, there is a secret CIA base hidden in the middle of the forest called Unit 6. This base has been the subject of numerous conspiracy theories for decades, with some claiming it houses extraterrestrials. In 2017, a man from Brazil named Diego Lopez decided to uncover the mystery behind this place no matter the cost. On October 14th, after conducting meticulous research, he finally decided to venture into this secret base. He drove to the forest near the site and put on a fake CIA vest and badge.
It ain't a secret now.
Thanks to that, he managed to get inside, and what he discovered will leave you in awe. Diego didn't find extraterrestrials, but hundreds of dinosaurs, and that's not even the craziest part. Some of these dinosaurs measured over 30 feet tall, capable of devouring an entire car in one bite. He managed to capture a short video and then decided to leave and return home to Peru.
Peru, isn't that interesting? With Peru being all in the news?
Posted the video online, but the Secret Services quickly removed it. A few days later, Diego went missing and he was never found again.
Listen, man, I'm going back to that dude talking about the technology of everything, that how far we are ahead and stuff like that, bro. I believe it, especially with all the talks about having in our possession UFOs, UAPs, and trying to reverse engineer the technology that they have, which is light years ahead of us. So when I hear that we have some technology, I believe it. Y'all let me know what y'all thought of these videos, man. Spam that like button. Till the next one, I'm gone. Peace.